Will the 2025 Stout really be the next big thing in the compact truck market? Since Ford revived the compact truck market, the competition has been heating up. And this is a good thing for us, because now companies will be forced to offer better things. Ford did that with a fuel efficiency Maverick. Toyota will have to do something similar. As of now, what most of us need is a truck that's reliable and practical. Toyota can actually deliver that. Ford has already tried and failed. Watch till the end because the new Stout has been revealed and we'll talk about everything. Starting with performance. This truck is set to hit the streets around 2025. But the first thing we should consider before talking about what it will be like is what it'll be up against. That is what the people need, the demand. In short, this is what will dictate the performance of the Stout. So, ask yourself, what we need the most? We're not saying that the Stout is going to be exactly that. No, it's not going to be perfect by any means. But before we talk about the problems and issues, we should talk about the good things. The 2025 Toyota Stout is gearing up to showcase the mighty TNGA-K platform. Picture this. Beneath the hood, you could have the robust 2.5-litre dynamic force engine from the RAV4, pushing out an impressive 203 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. Or, if you're feeling the need for an extra adrenaline kick, opt for the 2023 Highlander's 2.4-litre turbo i4 engine, which delivers a staggering 265 horsepower and a jaw-dropping 310 pound-feet of torque. This is good. If we're being honest, people do not need more than this. But there is one thing that the compact truck market is ruled by: fuel efficiency. The Maverick boasts a remarkable 49 miles per gallon in the city, 33 on the highway, and a combined 37. It is common sense that if Toyota wants to win the competition, it needs to have better fuel economy and maybe fit in one of their hybrids. But as of now, there's no information on Toyota making a hybrid version. But if you really think about it, it would make more sense to not go head-to-head with Ford. That's not because they can't handle it. No, it's because if they do, they'll leave a huge vacuum in the market. Look at the two best-selling compact trucks. Both the Maverick and Santa Cruz have the same appeal. They're built for the urban market, especially the Costco warriors. Now look at the TNGA-K, a powerhouse that outshines the best in the market, towing 5,000 pounds with ease. Clearly, the Stout is set to outperform most flagship trucks in terms of raw capability. It's crafted to deliver an unparalleled off-road experience. And for those craving the ultimate, there's the TRD Pro package, Toyota's signature off-road trim. It'll be rugged and very aggressive, which could be a very unique approach in this segment. The general manager of Toyota, Dave Zakowski, said that Toyota's been following the Maverick very closely. He acknowledged that in recent decades, pickup trucks in America have gotten bigger. Just look at the Tundra and Tacoma. Every year, they've gotten bigger and bigger. So Toyota is planning on meeting the demand while also being different and unique. This is how the market works, and if you want to profit more, you should provide more. That is what Ford is doing with its top-of-the-line fuel economy, and that's why Toyota is closely following them. It just makes sense, right? Ford focused on one major thing. They actually managed to keep the price lower. If you think that Toyota won't be planning to do the same thing with another feature, you're wrong, because there's still a huge void in the market, and Toyota might be able to fill that. It's not hard to see why they would be interested in this market. With their reputation for quality and reliability, they could easily carve out a niche for themselves in this space. But this is something we'll get into in just a few minutes, because everything is made for a specific reason, and the Stout is not that different. The problem with most of the videos online and all the talk about the new Stout is that they only focus on the hype. The truth is, there are issues that Toyota will inevitably have to deal with. How are they going to make it? You see, on paper, this all sounds great, but the problem is that this is real life. They need to deliver on their promises in 2025, and that is hard. Look at Ford. They can't even keep up with the demand for the Maverick, and they've completely stopped placing orders. And this is the first thing that they need to deal with. Toyota has already revived the Stout nameplate. This is straight from Toyota's playbook. They've done it many times in the past. They revive a classic nameplate and get the media to talk about it, and then release it with already huge demand for it. But the demand is already there. Even Toyota dealerships have requested headquarters to bring a compact truck into the US market. So, will the same fate happen to them? We can't truly know that now. The second main issue is reliability. We all know that this is Toyota, and they've never disappointed us in this regard. But this truck will be a first-generation model, and we all know what that comes with. Again, look at the Ford Maverick. There have been several reports about it having so many issues. And this is mainly because of build quality. And like we're saying, most people focus on the hype, and Ford knew that. So they let everyone talk about the amazing fuel efficiency, but everyone forgot about the real issue. You see, it's simple logic. If you're going to make something cheap, there is always a catch. You can't have the best of both worlds. Every company that is planning on entering the compact truck market needs to figure out a way to cut costs without making compromises on the production line. If Toyota can do that with the Stout, we can be sure it'll be the new king without a doubt. At the end of the day, we can only have what the market offers, and Toyota seems to always be the best in terms of reliability and durability. Now, beyond being the best reliable option, there are two more things that all truck buyers always consider before making a purchase. But we should talk about those in detail, and we will in just a few minutes, so watch till the end. Design. Be honest, are you not tired of the copy-paste designs that the new so-called modern cars are always coming up with? How many minimalist cars do we actually need? Toyota can be the black sheep and go against the trend. They already have the inspiration on their hands, the classic Stout. If they try to incorporate the retro charm of the Stout and combine it with a new design approach that they've used on their new flagship models like the Tacoma and RAV4, we can be sure they'll provide the blueprint for the solution to this characterless era in the car industry. The interior will have a whole new infotainment system and a heads-up display with all the essentials. It'll feature a 7 or 12-inch touchscreen and a center console. The Stout is rolling in with the Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 package, covering the basics and then some. This truck brings more to the table. A roomy, ergonomic design with a dual cab layout that takes care of all your storage needs. Plus, it's strutting on the TNGA platform, promising a silky smooth ride and seriously impressive capabilities. That is the first thing we all care about. The truck could be capable and powerful, but imagine driving something like that and feeling cramped and uncomfortable, like you're riding a horse. No one would want that. Price and competition. In the realm of compact trucks, price sensitivity takes the driver's seat. It's about having a vehicle slightly smaller than mid-sized trucks, but powerful. Expect the Stout's price to be around $26,000, competing with the Ford Maverick and Santa Cruz. And that is not the only competition Toyota will be going up against. Ford stirred the pot. Now all eyes are on Chevy and Ram, the other parts of the Detroit Big Three. Chevy debuts the compact Montana in Mexico. It features a flexible multi-link cargo bed, a 1.2-liter turbo, 133 horsepower and 155 pound-feet of torque. Not a speedster for sure, but it is good enough for daily activities. And it's only a matter of time until Chevy brings the new Montana to the States. But that's not the only new compact truck coming here. The Ram Rampage has been spotted in the US with a bold design and even bolder engine choices, which include a V6, standard 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder Tiger Shark, and it is expected to be priced at $26,000. If you think we're finished, you're wrong. The Japanese and Korean giants are also launching compact trucks to challenge the Maverick's reign, with the Subaru Brat taking center stage. And this is not the first time they've revived the Brat. They did the same thing with a different name in 2002. The Subaru Baja embodies this. Rugged, heavy-duty, catering to a unique customer base, prioritizing power and function. Kia, on the other hand, is coming with a different set of surprises with the Tasman, leveraging 40 years of domestic truck expertise. The Tasman will be available in electric and gasoline options, featuring a 2.2-litre SmartStream turbocharged diesel engine on the base model, 210 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. The Tasman aims to straddle full electrification and traditional trucks, providing a genuine middle ground. This is good news for us, because all of this means that for once, they'll all try to make something that caters to us, that's you and me. But that doesn't mean that the Stout is going to be perfect. It has two major flaws, so let's talk about it. Toyota's plan. You see, the way a lot of companies, including Toyota, have been able to make cheap cars lately is by cutting down on major features. Look at the Maverick. Although it is a good truck relative to other options that you can get at a low price, the main feature that it delivers without issues is fuel efficiency. Ford made the Maverick do one good thing and one thing only. That's the same thing that Toyota did with the Land Cruiser, and they're going to do the same with the Stout. And one thing we know about Toyota is that they don't compromise on reliability, so most likely we can expect them to give it a cheaper and less comfortable interior design that they cover with a marketing gimmick like they did on the retro-looking rugged Land Cruiser. And this is the first flaw. But if the Toyota Stout opts for the same foundation as the RAV4 and Highlander, it's highly likely that Toyota will extend a consistent range of engine options across all three models. This is pretty good news, because these engines have built quite a reputation for not just meeting, but exceeding the peak of performance and fuel efficiency within their respective classes. Now, if you think about this, it all sounds like what Ford wanted the Maverick to be, but failed, and we all know that Toyota can actually achieve this with ease. Because of one major reason: less competition. Toyota is in no rush to launch the Stout. The only major rivals out on the market are the Maverick and the Santa Cruz, at least for now, so they have a lot of time on their hands. And Toyota is planning on equipping the Stout with some sort of fusion of cutting-edge technology and a useful infotainment system. It has a 12.3-inch interactive touchscreen display that seamlessly incorporates all the must-haves like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. When we said that the interior was going to be lacking behind the competition, we didn't mean it was going to be bare bones, and if we're being honest, this might appeal to some customers. But the main selling point is going to be that the new platform provides the Stout with impeccable and unmatched driving quality with its rugged and lower center of gravity. Plus, Toyota has been dominating the off-road scene lately, and the Stout will have specific off-road built trims like the TRD Pro, which makes the Stout have a lifted and improved all-wheel drive system with a well-tuned engine capable of going anywhere without breaking a sweat. It's going to be sturdy with big tires, better suspension, and a rugged-looking exterior. But most of all, there's one thing we've yet to talk about: price. Although the Maverick is intended to be sold for $20,000, that hasn't happened yet. The demand has been so high that dealerships have been manipulating the numbers however they want, and this is the second major flaw. Expect the Stout's price to be around $26,000. Surely the demand will be high, but in our opinion, Toyota is relatively more capable than Ford to handle this, especially with their current conditions. The whole concept of compact trucks is to give customers the option to have a smaller and cheaper alternative to the large and mid-sized trucks like the Toyota Tacoma, which Toyota already dominates. And if they get the pricing strategy right, then the compact market will be theirs for the taking. So what now? It's an undeniable fact that Ford is going through a battle. Just look at the news. Every headline is saying the same thing, and there is a reason why they just killed their EV production. Now, it's not all Ford's fault. The market is going through changes, especially the EV market. But on the other hand, Toyota seems to be thriving in this turmoil. Plus, the fact that they were slow and correct about the electrification trend is paying off now, putting Toyota above any other brand. And with all these things, it is expected that Ford's stock value has been fluctuating, currently sitting below the pre-pandemic level. So it's not hard to figure out how desperately the main rival wants to capitalize on this huge opportunity. Ford versus Toyota. The new Stout is coming with a barrage of practical features, aiming to dominate the market, and Ford is the first one to fall victim. Let's be honest, the market is not ready for it, especially the compact truck market, which is dominated by the Ford Maverick. But we're not saying Ford is going to fall simply because of a new and fierce competition. There's more to it. Ford, the American giant, has slowly been losing popularity despite making one of the most favored trucks of our time, and the numbers are starting to show. Ford is dealing with a huge economic downturn. Ford carries a significant amount of debt, and their traditional combustion engines are facing a long-term nosedive in demand. And let's not even talk about their EVs. This is not a simple thing that they can fix without sacrificing a lot, and the leadership doesn't seem to know what they actually need to do. Remember when the Ford Maverick came out? Ever since then, the industry hasn't been the same, and Ford hasn't been the same. When it was first released, everyone wanted to buy one, so they did. But Ford couldn't provide what they promised, so as expected, their reputation has taken a massive hit. However, if we're being honest, this is a common thing to happen. Every manufacturer goes through this, especially if the car creates such a demand. You see, the production delays were not the main cause of the issues. The main problems started to happen because Ford became impatient and started to cut down on production lines to pump out more trucks every day. It turns out that means their trucks became unreliable. But what were they expecting? I understand that companies often get away with this type of thing, but not when all the spotlight is shining on you. Sometimes the saying that there is no such thing as bad publicity does not work. At least when the public is already interested in you. And Toyota seems to know this. Just look at the plans for the new Stout. A new and improved platform, a powerful engine that has already been proven many times, and a fresh design are just a few of the things that are expected to come with the Stout. The general director of Toyota has said that they have been closely following the Ford Maverick. They were just waiting for the perfect moment to capitalize on the collapse of the market giant. The Stout is going to be the last nail in the coffin.